Hi, so my assignment is to do the excessive plantar flexion gait deviation. So I'm gonna show you what it would look like, and then I will go through all the phases of gait, the functional task affected, the task accomplishments affected, and then some potential causes for why the patient could have excessive plantar flexion gait deviation. So the way it's gonna look is you're gonna see the deviation is on my left side, and so what you're going to see is throughout the gait that foot is always going to be plantar flexed. They're not going to have this motion or dorsiflexion, right? So what's going to happen is they're going to basically be out in front with an L at their ankle, and what's going to happen is they're going to send their knee into excessive hyperextension in order to bring through the stride, and they're going to have a hip lift, and most likely they're going to have to swing out in order to get that leg through that swing phase. And then they're going to take another step, do the same thing, like that. And do it once again. And again, I probably have a little bit of dorsiflexion on the way through my swing phase. I'm trying to eliminate that, but that would not be possible. So they're going to have a shortened stride, and then again have that, it's like that. So it's going to be a shortened gait. They're going to have a hip rise, and they're going to as well not be able to have that plantar dorsiflexion, and they're probably going to have some hip flexion from that as well. And this actually affects about 4 different stages of gait. So you're going to have the initial contact, you're going to have the loading response, mid stance and terminal stance all be affected throughout this gait deviation. Because you have the initial contact and loading response, that's going to affect the functional task of weight acceptance. And then with mid stance and terminal stance, you're going to have single limb support be affected. As for the task accomplishments with weight acceptance, you're going to have shock absorption. You're going to have an issue with maintaining your upright stability, and you're going to have to have issues with preserving progression. Otherwise, you're going to have a shorter stride length, especially on that unaffected leg, since your other knee's going to be in excessive hyperextension, causing you to flex at the hips. You're not going to be able to go as far with that other leg. As for single limb support task accomplishments, you're going to have, again, issues with preserving progression or going forward, and then also maintaining stability is going to cause some issues. Some potential causes from this, you have your weak pretibials. You could have a lack of dorsiflexion, passive range of motion. So again, with that lack of dorsiflexion, as you're going through that motion and you're hitting here, not being able to do this right here is going to could possibly cause issues with that hyperextend the knee, and then having that short length, and then again having to keep that leg like that throughout the gait cycle. You could also have plantar flexion hypertonicity. And the last thing is you could also have knee extensor weakness. It differs between patient to patient for the potential causes, but all of these are potential causes. All right, thanks.